Hello guys, it's currently Monday and the rain is about to come in. It's not meant to be raining today, it's meant to be really sunny today. And it was for the start of the day. And the rain is slowly creeping in. I'm just out with the dogs at the moment, if you can't tell. They're currently playing Find the Treat, which is a game where I put lots of tiny treats down, like really tiny treats. And then they've got to run around exploring and finding. Really good for the brain. Really good for a dog's mental tiredness. Gets them thinking, gets them exploring, and they absolutely love it. For a dog that loves food, I've not met a dog that doesn't like playing Find a Treat. They adore it. Anyway, regardless of that topic, how are we all? It is Monday, this is the day of a new week, and I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling human today, which is nice. And we are just having a chill. How am I meant to walk forward, Walter, when you stood up my feet? Anyway, let's carry on with the walk. Come on, let's carry on, let's go to the Hill of Fetch. Well, today's a good day. Caught up a little bit on my videos. I think I'm up to week 43 now. I want to say 43, or I'm editing week 43 at the moment. So we're doing well, we're catching up. Slowly but surely we're catching up. I think we're less than 20 weeks behind now, which is nice. Having a stroll with the doggies. No more fetch. No more tennis ball to the hill. No more tennis to the hill. Come on. Good pups. They're such good dogs, these three. Such brilliant dogs. I did actually come on to say today, we are going to be doing some mobility today, but that's not what I wanted to say. I've got some new walking boots, and unfortunately they're not barefoot boots. I wanted them to be barefoot boots, but unfortunately they're not, because my previous barefoot boots from Viva Barefoot have completely broken now, and because they were from Revivo, I was hoping that I would be able to send them back, get them repaired, get them fixed, and then get them back, and it'll all be great. However, because my job involves a lot of walking and involves walking through a lot of mud and everything else on a daily basis, even though I've been trying to keep the boots clean, they have not survived very well. And unfortunately, all the leather on the shoe has cracked and broken. And I got in touch with Revivo, and if it was the sole that had gone, they could fix it. If it was the stitching that had gone, they could fix it. If it was the insole that had gone, they could fix it. But because it's the actual leather of the shoe, they can't fix it. Not without making a whole new shoe. Unfortunately, that means that I can't send them off to get repaired, which is really freaking annoying. And unfortunately, I also can't really afford a £100 pair of shoes right now, or a £100 to £200 pair of barefoot walking boots. So I've had to make an unfortunate decision to go to my local Go Outdoors and just get a decent pair of walking boots that aren't barefoot shoes, unfortunately. And to be fair, they are pretty good. They're solid, they're rugged, they're quite secure, and they are waterproof, which is great for walking in puddles and stuff like that. The downside being, like I said, they're not barefoot, and I can tell the difference. I can no longer feel the ground. My ankles are twisting a little bit more, and the chances of getting ankle injuries anytime I stand on a bit of a wonky thing is a bit more obvious. So I can genuinely tell they're not barefoot shoes, and you can genuinely tell the difference between barefoot shoes and normal shoes when you've been barefoot for so long. And I have to admit, I prefer the barefoot shoes. I prefer being able to feel the ground. I prefer being able to feel the earth and how it shifts under my feet. I am not a fan of having solid flat cloghoppers on my feet every day. But to give them their dues, they do make walking on solid ground a lot more bearable and a lot more comfortable. A bit like my running shoes. I'm still not going to be running anytime soon. I am going to be going park run this weekend, and I'm going to start going park run regularly and essentially walk/jogging it. So walking it mostly, jogging when I feel like jogging, walking when I don't feel like jogging, and just building myself up slowly. As well as that, it's also my friend Nicola's 100th park run this coming weekend. So I really want to get there this weekend and celebrate that with her. And I've also got a dog walk this weekend as well, which is taking up some of my time, but it's fine because now that I'm not doing my Japanese, and now that I've had to put my voiceover on hold because we've not moved yet, and everything else is taking up, or is freeing up, not yet, it's freed up so much of my time that I can now dedicate to exercising and making sure that I'm looking after myself. I know she wants the tennis ball. Okay. Are we ready? Are we steady? Go! Crazy puppies. It is Monday night and it is time for mobility training. It's actually 20 to 9 at night. I've been video editing, I've caught up, I'm just catching up. I've just posted week 43. I say posted, scheduled, because somehow I'm still managing to upload daily. I don't know how, but I have scheduled week 43, so slowly getting there, nearly caught up. If I keep up with these daily vlogs, I might actually catch up. We need to do our exercises, and I'm going to be trying out a new mount today, camera mount. It's a suction cuppy type mount that I technically got for my GoPro, but I thought it might work for my camera as well when I'm doing my exercises. So we're going to find out today, see how it gets on. But I am severely delayed in doing my exercises tonight, so we're going to get them done. And again, we're sticking with mobility for now until next week. And then is it next week? Yes, next week. We're not quite at the end of February yet. And then next week we're going to start incorporating hybrid calisthenics again, and eventually the Tap Brothers flexibility program as well. So here we go. Let's get these exercises done. I had to try to stick the mount on about 3 different things and it's not working, so it's not one of those fancy mounts that sticks to anything. It's just a standard suction cup. Apparently I need to use it on glass or something like that. So not going to be using this today. And we are done. Apologies, I've not long got out the shower. Can you tell? Oh, we are done. That's the first exercise session of the week secured. I'm going to have a rest day tomorrow and focus on video editing, and then we're going to do another session on Wednesday. And I have to admit, today's session actually felt a lot better than I was expecting it to. I found some of the exercises to be not as hard. I found that my flexibility has already started improving. And I know they say that once you have it, you can get it back a lot faster than when it first came around. That didn't really make much sense, did it? What I mean to say is, once you do something, if you try and do it again not too long later, you'll find that your body has really good muscle and nerve memory, and it will just automatically be like, oh, we're doing this again, okay, let's adapt a bit quicker this time. And I have to admit, I did find the exercises a lot easier this week. I found it a lot easier to get up off the floor from the lunges. I found the squats a lot easier. I found the what are they called? The withdrawal lunges a lot easier. I found my bridges were quite strong again. And I've only done 2 sessions. I've only done 2 more sessions again. And yet my body is already speedily adapting really quickly. I have to admit, my wrist still isn't 100% from when I fell over last month. It's still quite tight and still slightly sprained. It is taking a long time to heal. But it's something we can work on, is building up wrist strength as well as ankle strength. Because, you know, I need that. That's the thing I love about this mobility training by Tom Morrison, the Simplistic Mobility Method, is it does focus a lot on balance, and there is extra courses you can buy to focus specifically on stability and balance, which I am very tempted to get next time he has a sale on. But at the same time, I've already got all of the Tap Brothers courses, and it feels a waste to not do them. But then the Tom Morrison really works for me. But then the Tap Brothers really works for me. I don't know. A part of me thinks I need to stop buying more programs and just stick to the ones I've got. That would be the best option and the smartest option right now. But I'm going to stick to the Tom Morrison Mobility Plan because it is working for me. And then, like I said, next month, I think I'm going to skip Hybrid Calisthenics because it is a great app. It's fantastic. I can't fault it. It has amazing progressions. But I've done the Tap Brothers program several times, so I know it like the back of my hand. So I think I'm going to go back to my Tap Brothers exercises next month, while my strength is increasing quite quickly. But we'll see. We'll see how I feel when we get around to it. Anyway, I am going to go chill for the rest of the night. Enjoy the fact that my mobility training is slowly getting easier. Slowly. I did the full 10 reps for majority, or for the usual exercises. So some exercises I find easy, some exercises I find hard. For the ones I find easier, I can't really call them easy because nothing about that program is easy when you first get started in it. But ones I find easier, I do the full 10 reps. The ones I find a lot harder, which I really struggle with, I usually only do half the reps. I usually do 5. What I'm going to try and do is on Wednesday, when we do our next session, is I'm going to try and go for 6 reps of the ones that I struggle with. So we're going to give that a go on Wednesday. See how we get on. Hello guys, it is Wednesday morning. And I've just finished having an enhanced health check, which apparently is something that gets offered to not necessarily people of my age, but people of my age with high possibility of health risks, which obviously I've got inflammatory bowel disease as well as anemia and inflammatory arthritis, so I fall under that category, unfortunately. I'm out of breath just walking from that place. They took my bloods and I'm going to get screened for diabetes because my dad not too long ago got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, so I'm going to get screen tested for diabetes. They recommended that I probably get my ulcerative colitis / inflammatory bowel disease checked because I've not had it checked since I was 15. So it's probably a good idea to have that checked just to make sure it's all okay. But it's not urgent because I'm not having any major flare-ups, which is good. I'm only having minor ones. But she did recommend me to the GP. She's got the GP calling me tomorrow due to my, I can't believe I'm about to admit this, my incontinence. It's an issue that I've been having majority of my life, but it's got particularly worse these last few years. Since not long after I turned 30, it started getting worse, or started getting noticeably worse to the point where it does impact my life, or has an effect on my quality of life, as she put it. So I'm now getting a phone call from my GP to raise awareness of that, or say raise awareness to get that investigated, to see whether or not I could get any extra help, or whether or not it's something that might be related to the blood in my urine. Who knows? We don't know. On the plus side, my blood pressure is perfectly normal. They are completely happy with the fact that I don't drink and I don't smoke. They did say, do you want any help with your weight? And I said, I can't do anything about my weight. It's like, I would like to do something about my weight, don't get me wrong. It's a case of, I've spent the last 20 years trying to lose weight. And in that 20 years, I have never lost more than 20 kilograms, maybe 30 at max. Suppose it's 30 if you class the fact that I went down to 85 at one point. I've never lost more than 20-30 kilograms at a time, and the weight's always come back on the second I stop starving myself, because that's the only way I've been able to lose weight. I discussed my diet with her. I showed her my calorie counting and my diary records for my food. I showed her my step count, and I showed her all my training that I've been doing, and she said, yep, you should not be overweight. that was our exact word. You should not be overweight. Glad I actually had someone verify that yes, everything you're doing is correct. You should not be the weight that you are. That's the first time. That's the very, very first time anyone has not said to me, have you tried losing weight? That's the first time no one said that to me. That's the first time they've said to me, okay, yes, you are just the way you are. There's like, you have tried losing weight. You are clearly doing everything right. And you're not losing weight, so therefore It's not your fault that you are the way you are. It's like, thank you. It's so nice for someone to actually acknowledge that. Oh, that was weird. It was very strange how it was so nice to be acknowledged that, oh, actually, yeah, you're quite fit and healthy and your body proves it. It's like you literally, as far as your blood pressure and everything else is concerned, there's nothing wrong with you. You are perfectly healthy. You are very fit and very active. You eat all the right things. You have a balanced diet. There's nothing you're doing wrong. So it's like, okay, so the weight must be genetic or hormonal. Like, whichever way it is, it must be medical. It must be natural for me to be a bigger person. And while that isn't necessarily, I don't know, I'm going on a bit of a rant and a ramble now, but you get what I mean. It's nice for someone to acknowledge, I am doing everything right, I'm not doing anything wrong, and I am still the weight that I am. It's just that simple. But at the same time, it's nice to be acknowledged that, you know what, no, I am a healthier, fitter, bigger person. And that is okay. That is actually the best thing you could hope for, is your body is just the way it is. But that doesn't stop you from being fit and healthy. And she just confirmed that. She's so happy. Sorry, I'm going to stop rambling now. I've gone on a bit of a ramble tangent with the weight thing, but when you've been told your whole life, you need to lose weight, you need to lose weight, you need to lose weight, for someone to actually take you seriously, to actually check what you've been doing, to look at your diaries, to look at your exercise records and everything else, and to say, oh no, you are doing everything right and you're not losing weight. So it must be genetic or hormonal. It is, oh, sorry, tangent is starting again. Need to get off the course of weight loss. Anyway, I'm a very happy girl right now because I'm finally getting my medical conditions taken seriously, or it feels like I'm getting my medical conditions taken seriously. I'm going to get a phone call next week to let me know the results of my diabetes scan and also any other blood tests just to check. They're going to do tests to check my liver and my kidneys and everything else. So there's that. And then tomorrow, like I said, I'm getting a call from the GP to investigate my incontinence because, you know, 36-year-olds get incontinence too. And to be fair, it's been something that's been going on a lot longer than just my current age. And it's something probably not enough people talk about. In fact, I'd say with confidence, it's just something that not a lot of people talk about. Incontinence is something you can have at any age, at any time of life. And it's nothing to be embarrassed about. But at the same time, you kind of can't help but get embarrassed by it because it's an old person illness. And in reality, it's not. In reality, it's not. You can be incontinent at any age. And the type of incontinent varies. Like I said, I'm going to get mine investigated, hopefully tomorrow, and potentially even referred for further checks. We will see. But for now, I need to get home because I've had my breakfast. Oh, I also did a height and weight check, which was interesting. Apparently, my height is currently 170 centimetres. I have somehow grown 5 centimetres. I used to be 165. I don't know how I'm suddenly 170 centimetres, she said I was. So yeah, I don't know how I've suddenly grown 5 centimetres. I'm assuming my posture's improved, but I can't imagine it's improved that much considering I've only been doing my mobility again for the last couple of weeks. And my weight after breakfast and with all my clothes on was 107.2. Which is good, because that means I've lost weight. Not that weight matters, but it means that my weight is staying consistent / starting to go down. But again, not that that matters because she just confirmed I'm perfectly healthy at the weight I am. Which is so nice. It's Wednesday evening, and no, I haven't got round to doing my mobility training today, but there's a couple of reasons for it. First reason, I was catching up on work stuff. Valid enough reason. I was catching up on business, I was updating social media, I was updating my mileage and my admin stuff. Fine. Managed to get that finished. Then said to myself, right, I'm going to video edit first. And then after I've done some video editing, maybe for an hour, 2 hours, then I'll do my mobility exercise at 8 o'clock. However, when I got home around 6 o'clock, a demo got released for a game that's on my wish list called Tales of Seikyu. This is one that's been on my wish list for nearly a year. It's been on my wish list for a long time because the game is still in development. They're still making it. They just put it out there to see how many people will be interested. And they finally released a demo. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to get that demo today and I'm going to give it a try. See how I find it, because I am a gamer at heart. I love my games. After I finished my video editing and I got my next video uploaded, I decided I'll give this game a go. I'll give this demo a try. And it was a lot of fun. It was very addictive. It was a good old farming game. It was very peaceful. The characters were wonderful. There was a lot of happiness and positivity in the game, which just made you It filled your heart with happiness. It was really lovely. It's like, you can tell it's still early access. You can tell there's still not a lot, or still a lot that needs to go into the game, and there's still a lot of mechanics that they need to work on with the whatchamacallit, the NPCs, how they move around, and because some of them were walking through bushes and glitching through rocks. So it's one of those, it is early access. It's not even early access technically yet, it's just a demo, because it is very much still in development, but it's gonna be such a lovely game. I can't wait for that to be fully released. It's gonna be so nice and so fun to play. However, at approximately 9 o'clock tonight, Jason notified me. He's like, oh dear, we have a problem. What is this problem, Jason? Well, it turns out our internet has gone down. What do you mean our internet has gone down? I don't know. I just noticed that the internet lost connection to my computer. I think he was playing an online game at the time. And when he's gone to check the box, he's noticed it's orange to say that there's a fault. So he's gone online and checked it, and sure enough, he's got a notification saying your internet is down. We have sent an engineer out to fix it already. The estimated fix date is the 4th of March. It's currently the 27th of February. So that's a whole weekend. That's Monday, maybe Tuesday at most, for us to get that back, or to be internetless, which isn't the end of the world because we can still get the internet on our phones. However, it does mean that I'm not going to be able to upload anything for the next few days, which is a little problematic, but hey ho, that's how it is. I'm quite glad I was playing a very stressless, very chill, very peaceful, relaxing, happy game before I got given that news, because it's made it a little more bearable. Yeah, we have no internet for the next few days, except on our phones, which means I've got no way of uploading my videos. Apologies for this little delay in videos. It's out of my control. It is what it is. And I need to go to bed now because it's like 10:15 at night. So good night, and I will see you in the morning, and I will do my mobility training on Thursday instead, aka tomorrow.